Metal-heads.de.
So Tye, it's been 2 years since you started your Kickstarter campaign, and now your physical perks are already done. Posters like CDs and T-shirts will be available soon. How does it feel that your project is coming to an end, or should I say maybe to a start?
It feels pretty good. I've been running into hiccups since I've got the, you know, um, cancer and working so much on the road with acts like Slightly Stupid and Godsmack and stuff. It's been longer than it should have been, but like having all the artwork done, having the shirts are finally ready to go, and having everything in place and actually being home to take care of that stuff, it feels really good. I mean, we just played our first show last week
Yeah.
and also shot a video for Here We Are. It's like an edited version of Here We Are, the first song off the record. And I mean, it's starting to get exciting. It's starting to, kind of start building momentum after this whole 2 years of, dealing with all this crap and touring
Yeah.
and all that to get it going. But yeah, it's really exciting time. I really feel like it's gonna do pretty well. We're gonna be able to get pretty far on it. Hopefully over to Europe. That would be the goal.
Can you tell us who's in the band and who's playing which instrument?
Well, right now I'm trying to set up two bands, but I'm trying to do an East Coast and a West Coast band since America's so huge. Um, but right now the principal guys are the Hills brothers. We got Joe Hill on guitar, and we got his brother Dan on drums. Uh, Joe Hill and Dan. Well, Joe Hill used to be in Alien Ant Farm with me for a record cycle, the Up in the Attic third draft record cycle. He was in the band, and he departed shortly after I departed.
Yeah.
The first time. I've always wanted to play with him. I consider him like he's my guitar player. Anything that I can't play, he just nails it and with an amazing feel. And he's well versed in everything. I mean, he grew up a metalhead and started to get into styles more like jazz and alternative, stuff like that. So he became a pretty well-rounded guitar player and exactly what I needed for this project. And the stuff he writes, it blows my mind. I can't say enough about having Joe as my guitar player. I mean, it's amazing. But Dan, his brother, another guy, he's like the go-to guy in Riverside, great drummer. Of all the drummers from our area, Corona, Riverside area in Southern California, I would say it's between him and Mike from Alien Ant Farm, which are like the go-to guys or the baddest dudes. And the cool thing is that those two were both in a band called Spiderworks, which was like our local hometown heroes and a band that we all look up to. And I mean, even talking about Mike, he has a letter where he wrote them when he was a younger kid. He wrote like the singer or whatever, and told him how much he liked them and asked for any kind of music thing that he can get, and the singer actually wrote him back. Well, years later, we all became really good friends, and they never really got further than the local level, unfortunately, because they were a great band. But the cool thing is they put out a couple things that were really amazing, and I still hold their Shiver album in my top 10 records of all time. And I get to play with the guys, so that's a real cool bonus for me.
Can you tell us how did it work out with the rehearsals? Because you're living on the East Coast and they on the West Coast.
Well, fortunately, right now I'm doing a lot of touring with let me give you some light here. I'm doing a lot of touring with Slightly Stupid, which are located in San Diego, which is only It's only a couple miles south, like 70 miles south, which is not that far from my parents' house. So I have them every time they need me, because they always need me, like, it seems like about every 3 weeks, and they'll go on tour, or I'll do something, rehearsals or something with them. So I'm there. I'm in the Southern California area quite a bit. So I find myself, like, I just call them and I say, okay, we're going to get together. I'm going to be here for like this week. I always make sure that the slightly stupid guys fly me in like a week early or a week late, so I can do MEK stuff. We can rehearse. We can do a show. Like, for example, we're doing. I have a show in San Diego with Slightly Stupid on the 9th, which is the Friday of December. So I booked a show for the 10th for me. So I just come in, and then we rehearse a couple times during the day, and then go play the show. So it works out pretty well. Like I said, I'm trying to do 2 bands, so I can do one out here, and then I can do one out there. But I really there's element, like, I have a keyboard player, backup singer / guitar player. We call it utility guy. That we need, and he lives here, and he's really good at what we need him to do. But I can't find a guy out in California that does that. So I need to, like, try to see if I can get him to come to California to play with us, and but that obviously would have to make it worth everyone's while, as far as being able to pay for plane tickets and pay him a wage to come out and do that on the weekends or whatever.
Sounds cool. On your new record, Red Sprite Lightning, you're telling a specific story. Can you tell our viewers what kind of story it is?
Well, the funny thing is I'm really into sci-fi, into all that Star Wars, Prometheus, all whatever, and I wanted to do a story that was true, but kind of disguised. So even though the story is fiction, it's all based off of kind of a real story. It's like the departure of leaving Alien Ant Farm, the troubles of having, with my wife and my kids, and even though there's, a lot of fiction-based stuff in there, like the character, like basically kills himself slowly, by starving and thirst and all this stuff while he's trying to get back home, because he went crazy because he's found out his family died and he didn't believe it. But the whole story is kind of based off of, well, it's not based off of, but it's very similar to the Interstellar movie. I at the time didn't see Interstellar. Interstellar wasn't out when I wrote the album. So when it came out, I was going, what? And actually the bass player for 311, Peanut, he actually did the voiceover stuff for, like, the main hero. And when I told him all about the record and what was happening, he goes, hey, have you seen Interstellar? And I said, no. And he goes, well, don't go see it, because you'll say that you didn't know what was going on, so you don't get sued. So I thought that was pretty funny. But it's based on this guy that the Earth's dying, the human race is trying to find a new home. They sell them on this promise that they're going to take care of their family, and they're going to send another vessel to come out and meet up with them, and it ends up not happening. And his family, the Earth is trying to rid itself of humans by having all this crazy natural disasters, and it ends up killing his family, like, right after he left. And he wakes up like 40-some years later and finds out they all just got demolished, like, the first couple weeks that he left. So he starts going crazy, and basically, comes to his demise. They run into some alien activity when they get to a certain planet that they were planning on going to first. And yeah, it's just a little journey tied in with some little space journey tied in with a little everyday human drama, I guess.
Sounds cool, man. And how would you...
it doesn't, like, it goes, like, in order. Like, the first song, Here We Are, is about them taking off on the spacecraft. And then they have a song, it goes into a song called Dreaming, which means they take off, and then they all go to sleep. And then it's like Floating Away is the next song. It's about them like first learning how to spacewalk. And then New World is when they come to a new world and, you know, we're in trouble. They run into an alien species. They start shooting at them. So it kind of goes like that. It kind of, you know, goes as the whole story. And by the end, he's like basically dead and going home.
How should fans consider this record? Is it more like a movie?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a movie when I first dreamt it up because, I mean, Joe, Dan, and I, mostly me and Joe, but Joe, Dan, and I have been jamming together before I left Alien Ant Farm. We were jamming together for probably about like 4 years prior to that, and we had a lot of these little riffs, and a lot of this music from this album came from those jams. We'd have this like Friday afternoon jam every Friday, and we just, you know, stockpiled all these riffs. Never really finished too many songs. Just kind of like we're having fun with it and said, "This is what we want to do. This is how we want to be a band." And then if we ever got the opportunity to do so, and then when I was going through all the songs, I started seeing like, wait a minute, I could put a story to this stuff, you know, like I came up with, I think New World was like lyrics that I came up with right away, and it had like this kind of feel, and I was like, wait, I can do something here. So I started like putting all the songs together. As I was putting all the songs together in order, because this this record never had any other order of songs like that. It was always like almost immediately I think I wrote one more song to fill in a hole, or maybe Joe wrote another one too, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this can go in these spots. These are perfect for this. And it actually just happened really organically, but it really worked out because I feel like the mood of the record flows, like it goes up and then it goes down, you know? And it was, you know, everything what we wanted. But while I was doing that, I was going, oh, dude, this is an album that we got to play in front of a, you know, movie screen and have a movie going, maybe an animated thing, maybe an acted thing, you know. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan and a huge fan of prog rock, and if you listen to this record, you'll definitely see that. But yeah, that was the whole thing. We wanted to like do it live, do it, you know, as a movie. We didn't want to like focus on performing our instruments. We wanted to focus to be on the screen. How we play it, you know, and have all the dialogue and everything run through it, because there's a lot of dialogue in it. But yeah, we're hoping that at least we can get to a visual state, but the ultimate goal is to have a movie playing, like a full-blown movie behind us. And I mean, if we could even take it a step further, it'd be cool to make that movie that's playing available while the music's playing too, so you can get like an hour or long distance, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe you will find.
But you do that stuff.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find the right filmmaker.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping, man. I don't know, you know, I would like to do it animated so we don't have to do, you know, anything. I would like to add like a very psychedelic element to this kind of thing, you know, but we'll see. I mean, all I can do is keep trying and keep plugging away to see if this thing gets bigger or not, you know.
Yeah. So after I've been visiting a metal concert, you know, I want to calm down and listen to songs like Dreaming or Floating Away. Can you tell us, our metalheads, our viewers, which song is maybe perfect for calming down, or which song you are listening to when you are on a concert and want to calm down?
A good song to mellow you out and come down on this record would be, I think, Dreaming or Coming Home, mostly Dreaming. Dreaming was one of those songs, I mean, like I said before, we were kind of like all metal guys before this.
Yeah.
When, like, say, Joe's band, Spiderworks band, they were really inspirational to me to be like a psychedelic like fan, or into psychedelic mellow music, Floyd, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, good song to wind down to. Dreaming is a great song on this record. Joe actually came up with a riff. But, you know, like I said before, we were all like a part of this metal scene and had kind of not really abandoned it, but took a break from it and started doing more like mellow stuff. Like even on the Amp Farm stuff, even though the records would start off a real bombastic, heavy riffing stuff, new metal type, you know, riffing and you know, we would always get to like songs like Universe and songs like Goodbye. Joe's band too, same thing. They were real heavy metal, not a heavy metal, like a thrash metal, speed metal. I think it was more thrash or whatever band. And then they came out with a record that was like full on psychedelic type record, mellow, like the Stone Roses. You know, that was a real big influence on me, being a big fan of Pink Floyd and you know, and we like mellowing out. We like, you know, more mind expanding type music rather than just super aggressive. And there's definitely that element on this record. But Dreaming's like the tune. We played the other night and we played nothing but heavy songs, but I put Dreaming like second in the list, and it was just so like, it was so calming. It felt so good to just play something so mellow compared to like all the heavy stuff we were playing. But yeah, that song for me is just, it's perfectly written. I think Joe knocked it out of the park with that riff. Exactly what inspired me before or made me want to be a fan of his band. You know, geez, that must be 20 some years ago now. 22, 23 years ago now that I got into his band. That inspired me to want to do music the way that I did it from that point on. And to get a song like Dreaming is amazing because I was like, oh, that just sounds like that band again. You know, here we are. We get to do what they would have done, but they broke up and you know, things didn't turn out well for them. So
yeah, sounds Dreaming could be your second single or maybe second video.
I don't know. I mean, we have Here We Are. When I did like a little survey once the album came out of what song should we, you know, try to be another single or just what song should be a single, a lot of people said Here We Are, but they also said like New World, and they also said Long Way Home. So that was kind of a trip. I'm like, okay, one song is very like kind of commercial, and the other one's like really bombastic and kind of a crazy tune. So it was surprising. I don't know if people are taking to Dreaming as much as the band members are, because like I think Dreaming, when we first started this band and we came up, you know, with the name MEK, and we tried to be everything that its definition is, you know. And though I'm not like a huge fan of the actual name and the sound of it, but I'm a big fan of the name because it describes the group really well, you know. And that's what I wanted to be. I wanted this band to be 100% honest. You know, even though our music is somewhat based or somewhat fiction based, it's very honest. It's what we want to do. It's, you know, it's what we want to play. It's who we are. You know, it's just, it is what it is. And there's no like compromise with this group when it comes to that. We're going to do stuff that we think is cool. And we don't care about it being 8-minute long songs. We don't care. But with Dreaming is probably, I mean, I've had conversations on the phone with Dan, our drummer, where we're just like, oh, dude, Dreaming. That's the song. It's just so perfect. It's so good. So I think that is like the epitome of what MEK wants to be. We just wrote, when I came out there last time, we said, hey, let's write a new song. And we wrote a new song, and it's right there. I mean, it couldn't be...
That's good.
Couldn't be any softer or any more mellow and psychedelic. You know what I mean? And that's where the band, I think, really wants to be. You know, we're writing heavy stuff. It's hard not to write heavy stuff when you've done nothing but heavy stuff your whole life, you know? it's hard not to do it. It's such a like it's just there. Sorry, I'm trying to get the lighting on because it's getting really dark here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard not to just to get crazy and want to go. It's hard not to do that,
Yeah.
you know. But it feels so good to just dream. It feels so good to do that. It's so soulful and it's so fulfilling on both sides. I do the heavy stuff; it's super fulfilling. I do the real mellow stuff; super fulfilling. You know, it's just I love this band. I love it.
Which part would you say was probably the hardest? Was it maybe the recording part or the Kickstarter campaign?
The Kickstarter campaign was like having a job because I had to like call people and ask everybody, email them, hit them up on Facebook. I had to go out and get that money to do this, and that was a real hard part. Recording it wasn't a problem. But the hardest thing probably in this whole process, besides writing all the lyrics was crazy because I've never done that before. I was being laughed at from my old band members, and so I was like not really caring or being defeated, but it was just it was. Can you go in there, please, love? Okay, so. Yeah, writing the lyrics was a real hard part, but I think the hardest part was finishing, like completely writing "We're in Trouble." But anyways, getting the money was tough. Writing all the lyrics was really tough. The music was done for a while, and we recorded it, and I'm like writing lyrics and making sure that everything matched, and I didn't want the lyrics to not match the music. That's a big thing for me. Like, that's one thing that I always had a problem with Alien Ant Farm, is that I felt like a lot of the times the music matched the lyrics, but a lot of the times the lyrics just ended up becoming about failed relationships. And I was like, dude, I'm not writing about failed relationships when I'm writing this music. Like, there's more to it, and we need to have more of an imagination. But it always went back to that point. So that was like a real release of going, oh, now I have something to write about. I got a story here, and it's not going to be, all about failed relationships. The funny thing is that it has an underlining tone of a failing relationship or a failed relationship, but the it all ends up being good, and everyone misses everybody, and they all realize they made the wrong decision, and even though it's a real sad, heavy ending or whatever to the record, it's the very last song definitely has like a positive feel that these people should have never parted ways and should have been together, kind of thing. So that's kind of a cool thing about it. But yeah, writing the lyrics sucked, but finishing "We're in Trouble" was man. That was like I just couldn't, like, where's this going? Then it finally got to the end. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I showed it to the guys. They're like, what? Like, this is just getting a little too crazy, But I had to indulge a little bit. I didn't want to make this song or this record super musical, like try to like, hey, check out what I can play or whatever. But I had to do a little bit of that. I had to get a drum solo in there. I had to get something that cut together. I had to get some guitar solos in there. I had to get, a singing part or some part that was just really crazy to play and sing at the same time. I had to do something that was a little bit challenging. You got to do that so you can separate yourself from the bands that are just not that good, So, even though bands that are not that good usually end up being the bigger bands and the bands that people like, because people like stuff a little, dumbed down. Not everybody's a musician. So, but every once in a while you got to flex and show musicians like, hey, we can do some musical stuff too that you'll dig. So hopefully get everybody.
So MEK was created besides Alien Ant Farm, is it right?
No.
Was it after
It was during Alien Ant Farm when Alien Ant Farm got back together.
Oh, okay.
Alien Ant Farm was hitting a real like slump. I mean, we were on a little stride there, and then we got this management team, got a record label. Once we did that, the band just started slumping because there's a lot of different aspects to it. But while that happened, I started playing with those guys because I wanted to do something that was more fulfilling. Ant Farm started doing more pop music and writing with like pop writers, and I was really unhappy about it. Like, I mean, there was stuff that I thought was cool about doing it, but at the same time, I was like, this is not Alien Ant Farm. This is just like this should be something that we're doing with other bands, not something that's being done for us. So, even though some of those songs turned out really cool, I wasn't a big fan of it, and so I started doing the MEK thing. Even though we didn't have a name, we called ourselves the Heezies because it was the Hills and the Zamoras. My brother, who was a singer for a band called The Color Red, that was on RCA Dirty Martini, he was supposed to be the original singer.
Yeah.
So I was going to be the bass, and it was going to be me and my brother, bass and singing, and then the Hills brothers, guitar and drums. And we me and my brother ended up having a falling out. So I told these guys, I was like, you know what? I'm having all these fallouts with, like Dryden and from Ant Farm and my brother's the lead singer. I said, and they were having problems with their lead singer from their last band. I just said, let's just get rid of lead singers. Like, let's just not deal with the ego of the lead singer, and I'll just sing it. I know how to sing. I'm not a big fan of my voice. I'm a big fan of my voice backing people up and like trying to match their voice, but I'm not a big fan of my voice being the lead. So it was really hard to get used to that. But yeah, that's I don't remember what the original question was, but I hope that answers it.
Yeah, definitely. The digital record is available since last November. You're working on the physical record, right? Can you tell us when
it took a while to get the artwork together, and since then, just trying to order it, getting it all done, has been a process. I mean, I need to like sit down. This is what I'm going to probably do tonight, but I need to sit down and like proofread everything.
Yeah.
It's been crazy to even try to get to that point. And then we had to I'll show you, these are pretty cool since you're recording. For the CD, to get the actual CD artwork done, we had to get these patches made, which are called mission patches. We had to get these made so we can take a picture of it and use it for the actual disc. And they'll probably be available for sale sooner or later, but here's this patch.
Wow, they turn out great.
Thanks.
Definitely.
Yeah, it took us a long time to design this.
Yeah.
We tried so many different things to do it, but we did that patch, and finally it was like I had to go order them from China, and I had a certain amount to order, and then I had to wait a certain amount of time. So then we did that, and we took a picture of that, and then inserted that in, and then I had to go on tour for 3 months, and I couldn't do anything while I was on tour. And now that I'm kind of back, like this week, I think everything's going to get ordered, the CDs, the shirts, and hopefully they'll be available by the next show, and I can start sending them out to all the people that ordered them.
Sounds great, man. And
yeah, it's crazy because nothing can happen without me. That's the thing about this band. It's like, as much as I would love for Joe to design the patch and Dan go get the shirts done and go get shows or whatever, it just doesn't work out if I don't do it. So me trying to I'm like the sole provider of my house. Got 3 kids and a wife, and I have to take care of everything. So I got like a real busy lifestyle. I'm playing in the studio, I'm out on tour, I give lessons online. I just have to kind of hustle to make us survive, which is fine. But MEK is what I really want to do. and it fits in there whenever I get cracks and crevices of time.
Yeah.
And I actually work on it. I mean, man, I really work on it like every chance that I get. And it's amazing how much time I don't get to work on it, you know? I can't just bring my computer studio set up, whatever. And, I mean, I bring my computer out on the road, but anytime I start proofreading something and start checking something out and something else happens, I'm like, okay, you know, maybe I can proofread it while I'm doing, making a video, you know, a lyric video for it or whatever. I'll make the lyric video. It takes me forever to do that. And, yeah it's just... I need more of me. I need like 2 more of me, and this thing would have been done probably a year or 2 ago, you know?
But the cool thing is, your friends and all the people who help you to start this campaign and everything else, they're very, very patient, you know? And they...
Yeah, well, the thing was, it was important to get the music out first. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, ultimately, if I was to do the campaign, or if I was to give money to a campaign that from something I wanted to hear, and they were like, look, we don't have everything because we have to, there's so many avenues we have to go through to get it done the way that the vision is done. Like, it just, I mean, we got the artwork just like before summertime to finish that, but I still haven't had like the patch ready. So all this stuff like took all this time. You know, the guy that did the artwork for me, it wasn't like he just sat down and said, okay, it's going to take me a week and I'm going to do it. Like, that was like a year-long process to get artwork for every single song done, you know? That took a long time.
Definitely for a single person.
Huh?
Definitely for a single person who is organizing everything. Not a label, not a management, a single person.
Yeah, so it was one guy, it's not a company, you know, he's a friend of mine that lives in the Philippines. So every time, like, I mean, I went to school with him, but he moved to the Philippines. It's a tattoo artist, graphic artist. And, you know, like, every time I needed something, it'd take like a day or 2 to respond. And then he's like, okay, I'll work on something. And then I get something like, you know, a week or 2 later. Oh, what about this? Okay, let's change this. You know, it'd take over, like, sometimes a month to do one picture. So, you know, that stuff took a long time to get together. And now that I'm home for, I think, like 2 weeks before I leave again. But even, like, this week is a holiday week, so I'm going to try to get stuff done now. But next week I'm in studio all week long. So I'm going to get up, you know, probably take my kids to school and whatever and feed them and then go to the studio all day long and then come home and, you know, we'll see if I get to work on that stuff. So
sounds interesting, man. What are your goals with MEK, or what are your next plans with the band? Maybe to release a new record, writing new music, touring, or see what happens?
We're gonna try to just play more shows. I mean, the thing is, you know, everyone is in a spot to where this has to be like, we have to do it locally because everyone has to work and make money, and I wouldn't be able to sustain those other guys until this started, you know, we could start making some kind of money to where I could say, okay, I can, you know, pay you guys whatever they would need, probably like $2,000 at least, you know, $2,000 a month or something like that, you know, for them to kind of be on the road and be able to do this. So, I mean, this band would have to start generating that kind of money to do that, and which is tough. You know, it's tough. We're just starting out. I mean, we still need to go through the process of finding a manager. We need to still go through the process of trying to find a booking agent. We need to still, like, we just shot the video on Saturday, and we have the single version done. And we need to, you know, get that version out on iTunes, and we need to get that single to go to radio. You know, so all that stuff involves like money to get like publicists and radio people together. You could do it independently and be moderately successful doing it, going to like college radio stations and stuff, and trying to go overseas and stuff. But you know, it takes people and it takes money, and that's just not. We don't have that right now. We have no backing, no help, and not because we have. I mean, we haven't looked. And so it's kind of our fault, but we just haven't been ready yet.
Yeah.
You know, like as soon as the CDs, the physical CDs are done, as soon as the Kickstarter campaign is fulfilled, and we have merchandise to sell, and we have CDs to sell, and we have something to give to managers and stuff like that, I think the band will really be off and running. And we're right around the corner from doing that right now.
Yeah.
We're really close.
Sounds great, man. Yeah, thank you, Tye. You answered all my questions to MEK. Thank you very much. And yeah, do you want to say some last kind words to your fans, to our viewers?
Dude, please check us out. Please listen to us. We're one of those bands that grows on you. It's not a first listen kind of thing. So, you know, you can go to iTunes. You can look at. I usually recommend people look up Red Sprite Lightning because of the weird spelling of MEK. You know, it's. I think most places it's like capital M. E, when you hold it down, you press the 5, and then you put a K, and you can find it. But I usually tell people just look up Red Sprite Lightning, and you'll find it. You know, it's kind of, I mean, I know that was kind of a hard way to find the band name. I'll pick something that no one can find. But then again, I was like, well, I always want to do this band the way that I wanted to do it. So, so I guess I made it hard on everybody to figure out how to find the band too. Yeah, so check us out. Go search on all the iTunes or Spotify's or anything like that. Go look up Red Sprite Lightning.
Yeah. Thank you.
And listen to it from start to finish.
Definitely.
Metal-Heads TV.